Spring break isn't what it used to be. It's better. This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Visit bestwestern.com for complete terms and conditions.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Tap the banner to learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Okay, New Or Nation, I know you all voted for the ending to be ending B, but because, I love you guys so, so very much, I am giving you as a bonus ending C as well, because, why not? Just to give you a little taste. So, without further ado, let's see what happens when Danielle chooses to take matters into her own hands. All right, join me now for ending C. So when we left off, Danielle was in the interrogation room. So Danielle is sitting in that interrogation room, and she said just enough to get the cops to look the other way. She gave them an address to Monique's mother's house that was outdated. Monique's people hadn't lived there in years. She also let it be known that she thought Keisha had dipped out to lay low with relatives out of state. She cried at all the right times, and she appeared to be laying her soul bare to the cops because she needed them to see her as the victim and not the perpetrator. And it worked. She kept up the act, not because she was protecting Keisha. Oh no. She did it because she was thinking of a master plan to handle Keisha herself. Really planning out how to make her next move her best move. And for the first time since this started, she only had one emotion now: vengeance. After turning over this entire situation and looking at it from the outside looking in, she could see how it wasn't adding up. The bag, the paperwork, her name, the timing, the setup. And then it hit her. This wasn't panic. This wasn't placement. This wasn't even just fraud. This was organized. And Keisha? Keisha wasn't organized. So that meant one thing. Keisha wasn't running this. She was working for someone who was.
Your little one grew 3 inches overnight. Adorable. Also, expensive. Sell their pint-sized pieces on Depop and list them in minutes with no selling fees. Because somewhere, a dad refuses to pay full price for the clothes his kids will outgrow tomorrow. And he's ready to buy your son's entire wardrobe right now. Consider your future growth spurt budget secured. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste. Payment processing fees and boosting fees still apply. See website for details.
On December 12th, Disney Plus invites you to go behind the scenes with Taylor Swift in an exclusive 6-episode docuseries.
I wanted to give something to the fans that they didn't expect.
The only thing left is to close the book.
The end of an era. And don't miss Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the final show, featuring for the first time the Tortured Poets Department. Streaming December 12th, only on Disney Plus.
Danielle did something she hadn't done before. She stopped reacting to the play and started analyzing the play. Because Keisha didn't pick her by accident. She picked her because she was safe, predictable, naive, easily manipulated, which meant one thing. Keisha never meant for this to go any other way than with Danielle taking the fall. Now it was time to flip the script. So when they let Danielle leave, her first stop was to put eyes on Keisha's foul ass at Monique's mother's house. The street was quiet, late night quiet. She knocked once. The door opened real slow, and there she was, Keisha, alive, unbothered, like nothing had happened. You wasn't supposed to come here. Danielle resisted the urge to slap the taste out of her mouth and instead pushed Keisha aside and stepped inside. She closed the door behind her. Yeah, I figured that out. They stood there looking at one another. Years of friendship, all of it sitting in that space. Then Danielle said, "You set me up." Keisha didn't deny it. You were the path of least resistance. Danielle laughed. It was a cold laugh. You mean the easiest one to sacrifice? Keisha just shrugged. Same difference. It took everything in Danielle not to drag Keisha by the hair and beat the brakes off of her. But instead, she just smiled at Keisha. She didn't get loud. She didn't do anything dramatic. Just smiled. Because once somebody shows you that they're willing to sacrifice you, you stop asking questions like, why me? And start asking, why not me? Because if I was good enough to take the fall, then I'm more than capable of running the play. Danielle said, that's okay. I'm gonna show you just how easy I am. Is that a threat? Girl, you know you not about that life. Sell them wolf tickets to somebody that don't know you, bitch. Danielle looked Keisha up and down like she was short and just walked past her and out the door. See, Keisha thought Danielle was defeated. She was wrong. It had finally clicked for Danielle just how much she was being played. 'Cause you see, good girls don't get protected. They get used. They get positioned. They get blamed when everything falls apart. Danielle exhaled a slow breath and started her car. That version of her, the quiet one, the trusting one, the just do this one favor for me one. Yeah, she was done with her. When Danielle got home, Brian was already there, sitting on the edge of the couch, waiting. He looked up at her. You good, cuz? Danielle didn't answer right away. She just walked past him, slow, in her head, thinking. And then she finally said, she ain't build this. Brian frowned. Build what? Danielle turned, her eyes sharper now. Everything was clear. This whole thing. She shook her head. No, she stepped into something that was bigger than her. Brian leaned forward. He was interested now. That mean what I think it mean, cuz? Danielle met his eyes. It means she tried to make me the mark. And then there was silence for a minute. Brian sat back, let that settle, and then he just nodded his head real slow. All right, cuz. So what we doing? And that was the moment. Because Danielle could have walked away. She could have told everything to the cops and let them handle it. She could have tried to go back to her quiet life. But something inside of her had already shifted. You still got people? Brian didn't even hesitate. Sure do. Danielle nodded. Good. Let's find out who she's really working for. And it didn't take long. Because people who move like Keisha, they're not hard to trace. You know, a call here, a name there, and a favor returned. And within 48 hours, Danielle and Brian weren't looking for Keisha. Oh no, they were sitting across from the people that Keisha worked for. 3 men, quiet, watching, evaluating. One of them finally spoke. So you're Danielle. Danielle didn't flinch. Yeah, that's me. A glance passed between the two of them. The man said, you caused us a problem. Danielle shook her head. No, Keisha did. More silence. Danielle leaned forward. You had something running, something that was clean, organized, and quiet. Then she tapped on the table. Keisha made it sloppy. Now the men were listening intently, because that part they already knew. Danielle said, you let her move without any oversight. You let her panic. You let her make decisions that she was not built to make. There was a glance between the men. And so now what? One of them asked. Danielle sat back. She was calm. She was controlled. Now you got exposure. There was a pause. And you need somebody who knows how to move without creating any drama. That's the difference between me and her. See, I don't panic. I don't guess. And the best part, I'm clean. Nobody suspects the quiet one. You see how I handled the cops. More silence. Brian watched her from the side. He didn't interrupt. He didn't speak not one word because this wasn't his lane. This was hers. So what are you offering? One of the men asked. Danielle didn't blink. Stability. I handle the paperwork. I make sure everything is clean. And I make sure the bullshit that happened with her, don't happen again. The room went quiet. Then one of the men asked, "And Keisha?" Danielle's expression didn't change. She already told you what she thought of me, that I'd be the perfect fall guy. And then she leaned forward slightly. And, that should be her last mistake. No other words needed to be said because what's understood don't have to be said when you're sitting in rooms like this.
This episode is brought to you by Peloton. Break through the busiest time of year with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. With real-time guidance and endless ways to move, you can personalize your workouts and train with confidence, helping you reach your goals in less time. Let yourself run, lift, sculpt, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Keisha didn't run. Not because she couldn't, but because she didn't think she needed to. She was still moving like someone who thought they had time. She's walking to her car, phone in her hand, keys in the other one. Walking fast, but not fast enough. The street was quiet. Too quiet. She reached her car, hit the unlock button, and that's when she noticed it. The car next to hers, it wasn't there before. The engine was running, the lights were off. Keisha slowed just a little bit, her eyes flickering around. But people like Keisha, they learn real early that if you don't acknowledge it, it might not be for you. So she went to open her car door and started to get in, and someone said, "Keisha." Who is this calling my name? Somebody behind her. Keisha froze. Slowly she turned around, and there were two men already too close. Now her first instinct was to run, but another linebacker-looking dude was coming around the side of her car. She was trapped. Her second instinct? Talk, because that's all she's got at this point. "What the fuck y'all doing running up on me like this? Back the fuck up, nigga." The goon that was closest to her grabbed her arm. "You know what this is, and you know who we are." Look, I can explain." Dude shook his head and gave her the look. You know the look. It's not aggressive. He didn't say one word, but the message was sent loud and clear. Then he said, "Shut the fuck up, it's free." And that's when it hit her. Those first icy tendrils of fear that run down your spine. Her heart was thudding and her chest felt like it was about to explode. And then there was recognition, because she had heard that tone before. That was the tone you hear right before something goes left and don't come back. Her voice dropped. "This about the bag?" There was no answer. The second man stepped forward, and that's when panic finally showed up. It wasn't supposed to go down like this. Wait, listen, I know how to fix it." Hands on her arms, they were firm, controlled. Keisha was desperately trying to break free, but her efforts were doing nothing to stop them from dragging her to the open trunk. "No, wait, you got the wrong girl. It was Danielle that got the police in this shit. She snitched, not me. Don't do this. I'm down, man, you know I'm down." As they pushed her in the trunk, Keisha sprawled on her side, crying real tears now. Then she said, "She got to y'all." One of the men stood over her about to close the trunk, and then he threw a phone in. Yeah, she did more than that. And then he slammed the trunk closed. Keisha lost it. She was screaming and crying for help, kicking on the trunk, trying to get out. And then a voice from inside the car said, "If you don't stop, I'm just going to put 2 through the seat." Instant silence. The car pulled off. The phone that he threw in with Keisha rang. Keisha answered it. Hello? Please, please, help me, please. I'm being kidnapped. I think they're going to kill me. The voice on the other end said, Oh, sorry, friend. I don't think anybody can help you now. Danielle, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to go down like this. Please help me. Oh, you need me to do something for you, sugar? I need you to help me, Danielle. Please. Sorry, Keish. I'm fresh out of favors. But I tell you what, you can have this one for free. What, Danny? You might want to get right with the big man upstairs, 'cause it look like y'all gonna be meeting real soon. Danielle, please don't do this. Please, I'm sorry. I'll do anything to make this right. I didn't mean for it to go this way. Yeah, I know. In your version of the story, it's me in the trunk, and you sitting pretty and unbothered at your house. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, huh? Have a nice afterlife, Keish. Click. Keisha lay on the floor of the trunk and sobbed. The reality that this was just too much for her to bear. Now she knew there would be no fixing of anything. This was a finishing move. Later, Danielle sat in her apartment. Same sofa, same peace, same quiet. But everything about her, different. No more confusion, no more hesitation, no more fear, just control. A folder sat in her lap. No loose ends, no Keisha. Danielle flipped through the pages in the folder, marked something on one of the pages, adjusted something else, and then she closed it. Her phone rang. She answered it without looking. Yeah, a voice on the other end said, It's handled. Danielle didn't ask what that meant. She didn't need to. She just said, play pussy, get fucked. Click. And that right there, that's what happens when your back is against the wall and fight or flight takes control, and mistaking the quiet for weak and not realizing that you just might be handing the wrong person an opportunity to make an example out of you. Ooh, New Nation, I hope y'all loved this alternate ending, baby. Miss Danielle wasn't nothing to play with, baby. Ooh, honey. Now, there is also alternate ending A, where Danielle takes the fall. I might throw that one up on Saturday. Who knows? Depending on how I'm feeling. I got to go get the grandbaby. So there's a bit of a road tripping type of situation going on. But if I get back here in enough time and am able to record it because it's already written and ready to go, I'll hook y'all up with a little something. Don't forget, on Sunday, the next story will drop Sunday night at some point in time. It'll be ready for your Monday morning commute. Don't worry, it'll be there. But the alternate endings for that story will only be available by subscription only. Now, I know some of y'all have let me know that you've already tried to subscribe and it's not working. I don't know if that's because I haven't loaded anything into Supercast yet. I'm going to go and play with that again this weekend, but trust and believe it will be ready before I drop the episode on Sunday night. Thank you guys so much for listening and spending just a little bit of your day letting me talk to you guys and let you hear what some of the things that are in my brain for Melanin Mayhem story series. We are going to have a ball with this, y'all, because, baby, the stories that I got, woo! Oh, and by the way, guys, just in case this was not clear, these are figments of my imagination. None of these stories are actual, factual, true crime stories. So Danielle and Keisha, completely figments of my imagination. Every story that I will drop will be figments of my imagination. So no, Melanin Mayhem is where you get your true crime on the podcast, and the story series is where you get Renee's fictional characters, okay? All right, now that we've cleared that up, y'all go on to have a very blessed day, and I can't wait till we talk again. Mwah!
Woo-wee, Nana, you did that.